Hey, what's going on everybody? Today I'm going to be telling you the story on how I lost my phone on someone else's car because I'm a complete idiot. Before I start the story though, I do want to introduce 3 people just to make the story a little bit easier to understand. I doubt that they'll mind me using their actual names, but just in case, we'll use the names Steven, Andrew, and Clay. So it all started out with Steven texting me asking me if I wanted to go play football at his house. At that point, I don't think I had anything better to do, so I said why not, and I drove over to Steven's house. Once we got there, we were looking around for the football for a little bit. I'm not sure why he actually didn't have it ready. He knew we were coming over, but that's besides the point. We found the ball, and it was a little deflated, but that didn't really bother us. We could still toss it around and have some fun. So we went outside, and because Steven lives in a cul-de-sac, we could actually go out in the street and play without having to worry about cars interrupting us. But because it was in the street, obviously the ground's hard on the street, and we were playing a little rough. I didn't want to end up falling over and cracking my phone or something like that. So Andrew and I decided to put our phones on top of my friend Clay's car because it was the closest thing nearby, and for some reason we didn't want to put it on the ground. It was probably because the ground was wet. I don't know, but it didn't matter because we didn't put it on the ground like we should have. We put it on Clay's car, and we started playing football again for probably like an hour or two. And eventually we decided to go inside and reinflate the football because we couldn't throw it as far as we wanted to. So we went inside and we started inflating the ball. While we were inflating it, Clay got a text saying that he had to leave early. So he said bye to all of us, and of course I said bye back, and I didn't even honestly think about it. But I saw him walk out the door, and at that point I got the weird urge to check my pockets. I honestly don't know why, and I still didn't realize it at this point what had happened. But I'm checking my pockets, trying to retrace my steps, trying to think about where my phone could have been. And then it hit me. But by this point, he had already left. So I'm trying to catch up to him as fast as possible. I open the door and I see him pulling out of the driveway. And I'm chasing after him. But he is not slowing down at all. I'm pretty sure he did see me, but it wouldn't have mattered because I've chased after his car plenty of times for no apparent reason. So he had no reason to stop. By the time he was completely out of sight, I turned around and went back to the house. And when I got there, everybody was standing outside wondering what was going on. And then I looked at Andrew, and I think Andrew realized the same thing. So I told everybody what happened, and we called Clay several times. But unfortunately, fortunately for Clay, he's a good driver. But unfortunately for us, he didn't pick up the phone. We all searched around the house for a while, but with no avail because none of the phones were there. So after a while, we got a call from Clay, and we explained what happened to him. He didn't believe us at first, but then he said that it did make sense because he heard 2 noises. I don't know how he explained it. I think Clay has a horrible way of explaining things because he said ba-dump, boom, 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 like something like that. I don't know. It was really stupid, and it was kind of, I don't know. Clay is dumb sometimes, and that was one of the moments when he was really dumb. Like, I'm not kidding. That was probably the exact noise, that how he described it. So he said it happened twice, but it didn't happen at the same time. One was earlier than the other, and I think he said it was like 2 minutes apart. So we were looking for the phone, and he said, luckily, the first time, he said the street name that it was on, but the second time he said it was going around some bend that he didn't know where it was. So we went and looked in the first area, and my friend Andrew used the Find My iPhone app to find his because he thought his would have been the second one because that makes sense considering my phone was on top. That's the only way. I mean, you have to be stupid to not understand how that works because sometimes life gives you lemons and other times it defies the laws of physics because somehow Andrew's phone was the one that fell off first even though it was under my phone. That kind of ticked me off and confused me at the same time. I still don't know how that happened. I just don't know how to explain that because I don't understand, like I said. So he found his phone. It was the first blah, blah. I can't even make that noise again. I just feel stupid making that noise. Like I said, that's actually probably the noise that he made. But so we found Andrew's phone to pick it up. There were no scratches on it whatsoever. It was perfectly fine. It could make calls and everything was great with it. But now we had to go find my phone, and we just knew it was a 2-minute drive or more. I think it might have actually been a lot more than a 2-minute drive, but we're searching for it, and at this time I think it's late October, so it gets dark really fast, and we're looking for my phone, and it's starting to get pitch black out, and it's around this bend. That's all we know. So we find this bend, we call him, we describe the area, and Clay says that had to have been the area where it was at. So we go around the turn, and unfortunately, there's a cliff on the other side of the road where the phone would have rolled off to. Now I say a cliff, and it was probably more like just a sharp drop off, but a cliff sounds so much better than a sharp drop off. Unfortunately, I mean, I didn't want it to be either. I wanted to find my phone, but now that I'm telling a story, and a cliff sounds better. Okay, that's what we're just gonna go with. It was a large cliff. So we're looking down that cliff, and we can't even see anything at this point. There were so many times where we had cars so close to us. So we decided that we're going to call it quits for the night, and we're just going to go look for it tomorrow. So we call it quits. We head back, and again, even on the way back, we had a few close calls with cars because we didn't really have any lights for them to see us. So we realized it was a bad idea. So we head back, and I get a text the next morning that's really early in the morning, let's say, and it's from Steven saying, hey, let's head out and go find your phone. And I was at the point where I really didn't want to wake up at all. I'm at that point where I just opened my eyes to the text, because the text was probably what woke me up. And Steven could have been saying it. There's a volcano, erupting outside your house. Jeez, I don't know what words are anymore. But there could have been a volcano erupting outside your house, and I would have said 5 more minutes because I really didn't care. I had a rough night that night, obviously. And after like 30 more texts, he must have woken me up because I got up, he was at my house, and I sort of got dressed and headed out. I got in his car, and then we headed over to where my phone supposedly fell off the cliff. So we're looking around that area, and we're looking there for probably a good hour or two. Now we can see now because it's daytime, but like I said, it was around October, so there were leaves everywhere. So pretty much it could have been nighttime, and it wouldn't really affected much because we couldn't see a thing under those leaves. If it fell under there, I don't know, we would have never been able to see it. So we're looking around for a while. I actually found a baseball, which was kind of cool. It was signed by somebody, but I didn't know, couldn't really read the signature, so I just kind of ended up throwing it somewhere. Don't know where it went, but we gave up after a while because it was freezing cold, and I really wasn't dressed all that well. I probably had sweatpants and a t-shirt on. So we gave up. We said we might come back another day, but really, in my mind, I was thinking that it was gone. And I kind of accepted that because it was such a stupid way to lose my phone that I don't know, I kind of laughed and felt really upset at the same time. But I was okay with it, so we started heading back. And as we were heading back, we saw a cop car rushing to the area where we were at. So I'm assuming what happened was somebody called the cops on us saying there were some sketchy looking teenagers. And I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense that we were hiding off this drop off. It probably looked like we were making a drug deal or something like that. But either way, I'm glad we got out of there because I really didn't feel like explaining to the cops why we were there, because I'm pretty sure they'd be a little dubious of my story considering the fact that I'd have to tell them that my phone fell off the top of someone's car the night before, because I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen all the time, at least not where I live. But in the end, I actually never found my phone, and I had to wait about a month and a half until I got a new phone. So that was fun. But oddly enough, every single day, well, at least almost every day until I got my new phone, we called my old one. And I'm under the impression that if you call a phone and it's broken or dead, that it goes straight to the voicemail. But I might be wrong about that. But either way, the phone rang until it went to the voicemail. So it rang several times. So I'm pretty sure either my phone is somehow still have battery, which is probably not true, or someone picked it up and found it and just kept it before we got there and found it. That's what I'm thinking happened. So someone out there probably has my phone right now, but either way, it was time for an upgrade. I got a new cool phone out of it. So yeah, that was that story. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my misfortunes. If you did, leave a like, comment what your worst thing that's happened to you, and if you want to keep seeing us. So again, I'll see you guys next time, and subscribe for more videos like this. Bye.